Hello everybody, today I'll make a very brief history lesson about coins of the Newfoundland dollar. Before Newfoundland joined the Canadian Confederation in 1949, March 31st, they issued their own currency between 1865 and 1947. They issued the coins in the following denomination: the 1 cent, the 5 cent, the 10 cent, the 20 cent, the 25 cent, the 50 cent, and the $2 gold coin. What I have in front of me is the 1 cent coins issued by Newfoundland. There's two types that were issued: the large cents and the small cents. The large cents were issued between 1865 and 1936 with the portraits of Queen Victoria, Edward VII, and George V. What I have right in front of me is a Newfoundland cent issued in 1919 by during George V's reign. The lettering says, "George V, by the grace of God, King and Emperor of India." What's special about this one, however, is if you look at between the lower welts, you can see there's a tiny C mint mark. This means it was minted in the Ottawa Mint in Canada. Now we'll go to the mint marks later when I bring out the silver coins, but in 1938, due to the price of copper being high, they changed, and also the size of the large cent being unwieldy, they issued the coins in the smaller cents, the small cents. This coin right here is the 1938 Newfoundland 1 cent. It is also the first year of the small cents as well, and also this coin is quite special as it does not have a C mint mark, which means this coin was minted in the Royal Mint in London. Yes, they mint coins from the Royal Mint and they crossed the entire Atlantic just to bring coins to Newfoundland for circulation. Now there are also some coins such as the 1940 and 1942 small cents that were issued in Canada but did not have mint marks, but that's another story. The 5 cent is a very small silver coin issued between 1865 and 1947. These things are called fish scales because of their size, and originally were issued to maintain the same size as the Canadian 5 cents. The silver 5 cents that were issued between 1858 and 1921. What I have right here is a 1929 5 cent, which was also, if I remember correctly, the last year of the small cents. Sorry, of the 5 cent pieces issued during King George VI's reign. Let me just check. Yep. King George V's reign, the last coins issued. Due to their small size, however, it was not particularly popular as it's easy to lose them, which is why in Canada, the main issue was like the silver price was high in Canada, but also they're very small, and also they do not mix well with the US nickel. So we replace them with a large nickel. However, Newfoundland still uses these until 1947. The 10 cent right here is the same size and diameter as and weight and silver composition as the Canadian 10 cent pieces that were issued. But in 1920, the Canadian coins had a reduced impurity to 80% from sterling due to the expenses, which means the Newfoundland stuff actually had a higher purity compared to the Canadian ones. The obverse is basically unidentifiable between like a Canadian, undistinguishable between a Canadian and Newfoundland one. The reverse, however, has these big letters called saying Newfoundland, and also it's pretty self-explanatory. 10 cents, 1912, nothing else need to know. And also this one is minted in London, because the Royal Mint in London, because it does not have a mint mark in most situations. Now we'll bring out the brothers. The 25 cent that everyone knows and loves, and the 20 cent that not a lot of people know. The 20 cent was the first coins issued by the Newfoundland, was one of the first coins of its series to be issued by Newfoundland between 1865 until 1912. This coin is interesting as it's being the only 20 cent issued by King George V during his reign, and it's basically the same thing, same design, same everything, although it is smaller and lighter compared to the quarter issued by Canada during its reign, during its time, and causes a lot of confusion because people tend to mix this up with a quarter, and there was like a lot of people that argue, bicker, because people tend to mix these up. Same thing now, which is why in 1917, because Britain cannot supply Newfoundland with the needed coins, they contracted out to the Ottawa Mint in Canada to mint their Newfoundland coins. However, the Ottawa Mint was very firm in their decision to not issue a 20 cent piece. So Newfoundland instead issued 25 cent pieces, such as this one, the 1917 Newfoundland 25 cent, issued by the Ottawa Mint with the C Mint mark right here. With the C Mint mark. Now, we're going to the 50 cent pieces. The 50 cent pieces is a very interesting type of coins, as you do not see them nowadays. But back in the day, it was the main commercial coin used because it was large, it has a lot of value. Yeah, before it accounts for inflation, of course. And also, it's usually well struck because of their large size and large area for design. Although the Newfoundland coins were not necessarily the most creative. Basically, they have all the same design with only the denomination different. Right, I have right here 3 coins. They are from different times, but they're intended for the same place, but they're actually issued in 3 different places. The first one is the bog standard Royal Mint one, right here, the 1911 one. You can see there's no mint mark on the bottom. This one, however, is minted in Heaton Mint in Birmingham, in England. Now, not a lot of people know how that Britain at that time actually contract their coin orders to private mints, and Birmingham Mint, the Heaton Mint, was actually one of those mints that the United British Empire gave contracts to mint coins. And if you look at the collecting early Canadian coins and like Newfoundland or British Empire coin in general, you'll see some coins with the H mint mark, and those were minted in Birmingham Heaton. Let's see the H, it's right here. The last coin is a 50 cent bog standard minted in Canada, the wartime coin. It is a fairly good example that I got here. It's not gem, but for the price I paid, I got it a fairly good coin. Now, the $2 coin. First and foremost, I do not have it. It is very expensive, they are very rare, and if I buy it, not only I could not buy it, but because there's so few of them around, also they're very expensive, and I probably need to sell my whole collection in order to obtain just one of those coins. However, they are very unique in the way that they have a unique denomination, $2, and there's no $1 gold coin. They were the only North American gold coins issued by a British colony. I'm not counting America, because America issued their gold coins when they were independent. Although in Canada, they did issue Ottawa sovereigns, but those were not really intended for like circulation. Oh, wait a minute, I remember. Yeah, Canada also issued their own gold coins as well. I forgot about that. But anyway, but the Newfoundland's coins are still fairly special. Bugger. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.